The Battle of the Bands is brought to you by Chrysler, the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Back here in Birmingham, Alabama. And we're at halftime. We're ready for our Chrysler Battle of the Bands. Right now, coming to the field, the marching maroon and white of Alabama A&M. Under the direction of Archie Wesley II. He's the 10-time College Band Director of the Year, and the band can be heard on Lucy Pearl Tell CD. The song, Dance Tonight. The Maroonettes, I should say, are the young ladies. Let's listen to Alabama A&M. marching maroon and white of Alabama A&M. We're at the Chrysler halftime here in Birmingham. The Magic City Classic, back with more in a moment.
This for all my players out there riding. Spinners.
Geico's always been about savings, but he really brought customer service to a whole new level.
We settle a ton of claims in under 48 hours.
Guaranteed claim repairs? That was his idea.
Customer satisfaction is at an all-time high.
You know what he represents? A commitment to excellence.
And he deserves this award.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a rear tailgate that acts like a second set of hands.
I see a vehicle that fits our lives.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Now, very well-qualified lessees can lease Chrysler Pacifica for $339 a month with 0 down and $339 due at signing.
Welcome back to halftime in our Chrysler Battle of the Bands. The Alabama State Mighty Marching Hornets, 200 strong, under the direction of James B. Oliver, a 1980 graduate of Alabama State. The Stingettes of the young ladies to dance with the band. Let's enjoy the Mighty Marching Hornets from Alabama State.
Stand up! Stand up! Stand up from the ceiling to the floor! AM don't want no more. That man better not go. No, 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 no. They try to play out like we dumb, but we know AM ain't got no soul. Go on. The way we move. The way we move. Now watch us move. Now move and work with it. Now move and work with it to the left. Yeah, to the right. Now watch work. Now watch work. Now pump on the floor. Pump on the floor. And pump it on the side. Pump it on the side. And work it in the air. Work it in the air. What? Shake, 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 shake. Walk it like a dog. Walk it like a dog. And put your dog on the leash. Get your dog back and put the dog on the leash. Alabama State Marching Hornets 03-04 edition under the direction of James B. Oliver. We do it for fun. We do it for fun. I do the chicken head. I do the chicken head. Do that time to get strong with it. Do that time to get grown with it. 8 to 5. All you see is step and drive. Focus. And who can shake the best wall? Now Bama shake the best. Bama shake the best shake.
Halftime has been brought to you by Chrysler, the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Back here in Birmingham, Alabama, 9-7, Alabama A&M over Alabama State. You know, last year in his first season as head coach at Alabama A&M, Anthony Jones led the Bulldogs all the way to the SWAC championship. This year, he's lost a standout player and gained the proverbial bullseye, one that our Jay Skywalker found out everybody seems to be gunning for on the field.
Here comes pressure, and down goes Weaver. Guess who? Robert Mathis.
I was a big fan of Robert Mathis last year, and it's almost a cliche. How do you replace a player like Robert Mathis? But I got to put the question out there. What do you do to replace a player of that magnitude?
Well, he's hard to replace. I mean, this man led the nation in 3 categories on defense: sacks, tackles for loss, and forced fumbles. Those translate into points. Those translate into wins. What we did last year is we took the strength of our team and made the most of it. Our strength of our team last year was defense. The strength of our team last year was special teams. Our strength of our team last year, we were a very opportunistic offense. We got down in the red area, we scored. What we have to do now, this year, is we're going to have to redefine our whole make of our team. Guys want to come in, establish roles, establish what we can do, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, and we're going to have to play to those. Now, our strength will be what can we do to be successful, and that's what we're working on.
And down at Alabama A&M, he had a new look this year, he had a new coach. What was one of the things that Coach Jones brought to the program?
He brought team chemistry. You know, that's something we hadn't been lacking since I've been there.
And right now you're seeing why everybody says Anthony Jones is the next great coach in black college football.
How does that feel going from a rookie to almost a veteran in the conference?
Well, it's kind of twofold. The first thing is a lot of things that you were unfamiliar with your first year, now you're familiar with. So those little traps can't grab you as much. The other side of it is that now everyone has a taste of what you are. You can't sneak up on no one. And I always say now that I'm kind of like has the bull's eyes on my back or all over me, so to speak. So everyone will be gunning for us, and that's okay because we'll be gunning right back.
We're at halftime here, 9-7. Anthony Jones, Alabama A&M's team is out in front by 2 points. Alabama State with a touchdown and a fumble that led to a field goal by Alabama A&M. Tony Pierce, the coach who's standing in for Charles Coe, is down on the sideline with our Rob Jones.
Hey, Charlie, I'm here with Coach Tony Pierce. And, Coach, you're down by 2 points. Did you get a chance to talk to Coach Coe at halftime?
No, I didn't talk to Charlie at halftime. I just got together with the offensive and defense staff and talked about some adjustments that we were going to make. And, you know, it's a tight ball game. Hats off to them. They're doing a heck of a job right now.
Can you talk about some of those adjustments?
Well, you know, we really have lined up and seen these offensive formations defensively already. You know, our kids are just running around and, you know, they're going with that unbalanced tight end and everything. So they just have to relax and be patient, keep their poise and find their man. That's why we had a couple of deep balls just because our guy wasn't on their man.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Back upstairs to you, Charlie.
All right, thank you very much, Charlie Neal. Jay Walker here at halftime. And, Jay, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think that Alabama State started to gain control of the football game, but then they let A&M slow it down with those long drives and field goals to do that to you. But I think all gloves are going to come down. Second half, we're going to be in for a shootout.
I believe so. Let's look at some of the first half highlights. Of course, Alabama A&M got on the board first with the field goal, and this is what helped lead to that field goal.
Yeah, well, you saw the fumble punt right there. Special teams hurt, and Alabama A&M capitalized by putting points on the board early, giving them a 3-0 advantage. But then Alabama State tried to kick it in gear. You see the passing game came in play. They got the big completion there, and they finalized this with a beautiful pass that you'll see in college football. Fade route, giving them a 7-3 advantage.
And it's held up. In fact, in the second quarter, you look again, here's the rollout to right by the quarterback, and he gets it complete downfield, and they get in position to kick another field goal. Kyler kicks 3 field goals in the ball game, including a 42-yarder, and then again, the defense of Alabama A&M, ranked number 8 in the nation, shows why they are ranked so high. And there's the third field goal by Kyler, and that's the way we stand, 9-7. Let's look at our Geico first half statistics in this particular ball game, and you look at the yardage, pretty much even. Time of possession, Alabama State has about 3 more minutes.
Yeah, and if you take a look at these stats, you would think that this is a very close football game, and it is. It's 9-7. Everything there is balanced, but the one thing you want to see with Alabama A&M, they got to get more rushing yards. And Alabama State, they've definitely got to get more rushing yards. They came in there averaging over 200 yards rushing on the ground. They've got 36. They got to kick it in gear in the running game. And the time of possession, about even. The 1 turnover is alluded to 3 points. So whoever scores touchdowns and not field goals will come away with the victory.
Now we're getting ready to start the second half. And there's the kickoff. It comes down to the 17, 18-yard line and yoked down at the 30. And there's a face mask penalty that's going to be whistled against Alabama State as Reginald Johnson was the man on the return.
Yeah, you know, they got the face mask there and they didn't let it go. So this is going to be one of those 15-yarders because he brought him down by the face mask. If you get your hand stuck in there and let it go, they'll give you a 5-yarder. But this one is what you call good old-fashioned. What'd you say, Charlie? He got yoked down there. You see right there, it's coming in there, and he's going to come in there and get shedding the tackle, but he got a hand around there and just yanked him there. Ooh, I'm glad nobody got hurt on a play like that. That's a violent play.
So the penalty after the face mask will move the ball all the way out to the 45-yard line, and that's where A&M will start. First down and 10. First possession for either team here in the second half. Quarterback, Johnny Keith. 4 of 9, 80 yards, and a 33-yard longest in the first half. First down and 10. It goes to Bonds, who's held in check in the first half, and he's still held in check, maybe a half-yard gain, and that is it for Jeremiah Bonds, who, like I said, had a hip pointer. He's a young man who transferred from the University of Memphis. He was the #1 leading rusher in the conference coming in. He only has 32 yards today.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out ways to get him involved. And they don't know if they can run the ball inside or outside. Maybe they got to try a couple screen passes and get him the ball in the passing game because Alabama State is tuned in on the Jeremiah Bonds.
In this game a year ago, 23-20 was the final score. A&M won after trailing 14-12 at the half. These two teams have represented the East in the last two SWAC championships, but Grambling has won it all. And there's a pass to the far sideline. Travis Martin, redshirt senior out of Columbus, Georgia, on the reception. And for Travis Martin, that is his second reception of the afternoon. He had a 32-yarder earlier.
Good job of getting his feet in bounds. Ball was thrown high. He jumped up, made the catch, and got both feet in bounds. We talk about Travis Martin. This is the guy here that got the frame, got the build. Senior year, one of the fastest guys on this team. So he's one of those deep play threat receivers that you always have to keep an eye on because just when you start thinking he's not there, he'll beat you deep.
Second down. Make it third down, rather. And this one is incomplete. That was intended for Darrell Weekly.
The route was there. The wide receiver was wide open. Just made a bad pass there, and that brings a 3 and out. So now Alabama State's going to get this football back early with only a minute and 2 seconds gone on that last possession by Alabama A&M. And if they can get this Hornet offense going early, they're going to ignite something. You don't want to kick the ball to Alabama State a whole lot because they can break it on special teams. #1 in the SWAC in terms of punt return yardage. They average 17.5 yards per punt return. That's not good. That's great.
It certainly is. That's fantastic. Let's look at our Chrysler Player of the Week, and he's from the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The quarterback is Quincy Richard from Southern University, and against Jackson State a week ago, in front of a great crowd down in Jackson, Mississippi, he completed 25 of 33 passes for 299 yards and a touchdown, and he also ran for 2 more.
Yeah, what happens is everybody's saying Southern's playing some of the best football in Black College. Well, if you got a quarterback that's making plays like that, it's the quarterback that has the keys to the ignition, and he's doing that, leading the Jaguars to an undefeated season. And they went down there and beat a physical Jackson State squad against Robert Kent, so I'm sure they got hyped up. Quincy Richard, Robert Kent, he came away with the victory.
There's our Chrysler Player of the Week, brought to you by Chrysler Pacifica. Goes well beyond the SUV. Back to punt it away for Alabama A&M, Rashard Kyler. This is his third punt of the afternoon. It's off a pretty good one. And it's going to go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at about the 6, and that's where they will go to work. That is Alabama State getting the ball, trailing 9-7. First time in the second half. So Kyler with a pretty good punt here, his first of the second half. And we'll be back. 13:46 left in the third quarter. Justin. In Birmingham, 13:46 to go. Third quarter, 9-7 Alabama A&M. Alabama State with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line. They've gone all the way with Tavares Jackson at quarterback as they line it up. The fullback will be Justin Holmes. Keldrick Williams is the second back in the eye. Deep in their own territory, and this is where Alabama A&M will try to maybe create some havoc back here. But here's Keldrick Williams, and he gets through and gets some daylight for his offense as he brings it out to the 21-yard line, a 15-yard run.
Yeah, that's a good job of the offensive line of getting that push.
Let's go down to Rob Jones.
Hey, Charlie, a major scare for Alabama State at the end of the first half. Wide receiver Brandon Horace twisted his left knee. He limped off the field. He just ran off the field. Now, he was in there. He's going to give it a go. He was the guy that caught the only score for the Hornets.
And that's where he twisted his knee in the first half, just before halftime. Right now, it's 1st down and 10, and Keldrick Williams again, but he runs into a whole host of white jerseys led by the true freshman Henry Roberson out of Madison, Florida.
Yeah, Henry Roberson, freshman. They're saying he's matured beyond his years. He got in there early and had to play early, and he was better than advertised, and he's making plays. And as the season's gone along, he's gotten better and better. And we're getting to that one point, Charlie, you like to say, he's no longer a freshman. He's almost a sophomore with that many games underneath his belt.
That's right. He was a big surprise of the year. He was playing on a high school team down in Madison, Florida. That won the Class 2A title just a year ago, and right now he's wreaking havoc in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. It's almost like a dream come true. You come from the college ranks to the NFL, right?
Yeah, it's like Magic Johnson did in basketball.
Right, and here's a sack for Alabama A&M. There was a flag also down on the play. Fernandez Shaw, who's been all over the field this afternoon out of Tacoma, Washington, preseason second-team all-conference starter, or all-conference selection, started his first game against Savannah State and started there. Once he got in the lineup, you know, he's one of those kids that you don't let him start because he's not going to give up his spot. Jimmy Jones, he forgets to turn his mic on. Well, whatever. We know what they were offside.
There you go. Your voice sounds better, Charlie. I'd rather hear from you. And one of the reasons Shaw was able to get that sack was caught him cheating a little bit, got an early jump there. We thought he was just fast, but he was cheating offside, bringing up a 2nd and 5.
Lone setback is Keldrick Williams. Back to pass is the quarterback. And another fade pattern. Incomplete. This time on the near sideline. Good battle downfield. Chad Lucas, the intended receiver. And he had a man draped all over him. Covering downfield for Alabama A&M was Henry Freeman. Henry Freeman, an interesting story. Injured his ankle in the first game of the season against Jacksonville State. Did not play and did not get back into the lineup until last week when they played Savannah State.
Yeah, you can tell Alabama State knows that because every time they've thrown a deep pass, it's been on the right side going at Henry Freeman. They realize a cornerback with a bad ankle means he's not as fast as he once was. Try and beat him on the deep pass. I like the coaching strategy.
3rd down 5 now. Quarterback. Looked like he fumbled the ball there for a moment as he was hit from behind. And the man was Lieutenant Dukes, I believe, that got a hand on his ankle. There he is, number 94. I like that name, Lieutenant Dukes. He keeps playing like that. He'll be a major by next year, right?
You know, if you're a coach, you really like it. That means he takes orders well and he respects leadership. He'll be Corporal Dukes one day. I don't know how high can you go up in the military.
General. Now you don't demote him to corporal, lieutenant. Then you go to captain, then major, and you know.
That's why I
Lieutenant Colonel, then Colonel.
Gotcha.
But not corporal. That's a demotion. That's like
I'm just a jock. I'm used to practice squad, traveling squad, varsity, junior varsity.
And here's a punt taken by Nick Wells, and Wells gets it up to the 48-yard line. And one of the things that I've noticed is that Alabama A&M has had great field position just most of the afternoon.
They have, and even though Alabama State has a great punting game, A&M, and you figure with great field position, you want more than 9 points. That's a disappointing thing about it, and I'm sure Coach Jones realized that they got to score touchdowns.
There's a timeout on the field with 11:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back.
We're tailgating at the Magic City Classic with MBC, keeping it real.
people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a rear tailgate that acts like a second set of hands.
I see a vehicle that fits our lives.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Now, very well-qualified lessees can lease Chrysler Pacifica for $339 a month with 0 down and $339 due at signing.
I joined the Navy because I had a plan. I wanted to work for myself.
The Navy taught me the discipline I needed to achieve that goal.
It gave me the strength, body, and mind.
And the knowledge to get ahead.
It was the building block for my success.
Today, I own my own business.
The Navy gave me more than just a strong foundation.
It gave me the courage I needed
to find the person in me.
Navy, accelerate your life.
For the short, for the tall,
for the big, for the small,
for the day trippers,
for the sunbathers,
for the surfers,
for the divers,
for the ball players, for the fans,
for those who speak up, for those who stand out,
for the singers,
for the original, for the responsible,
for the kissers, for the committed,
for those who love you,
for those who love you not,
for those who love you a little,
for those who love you a lot, for the hot days, for the starry nights,
for the endless days of summer,
for all of us,
for everyone.
9-7, our score here. Alabama A&M with a 2-point lead over Alabama State. Our trivia question of the week: how many SWAC football championships has Alabama State won? Well, it's brought to you by Geico. You can log on to www.nbcnetwork.com and become eligible for a sports prize as you answer that question. So we'll come back later on and give you the answer to our Geico trivia question of the week.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know they had a good run in the 90s. You know, with Ricky Jones and those guys from Alabama State. Interesting there. I'm going to give you my answer a little bit later, what I think it is. The research system didn't tell me the answer, Charlie. That's not fair. You're supposed to be my cheating buddy.
Yeah, but I come up with the question, so I can't give you the answer. You know, employees and their family are not eligible. You see the pass, it was incomplete for Jeremiah Bond's last attempt there. Alabama A&M again. He throws, has it complete this time. Far side, and it's Travis Martin, third reception of the day. And Martin, close to a first down, maybe he does have it. There's about 11-yard gain on the play. So 4 different receivers have caught passes today from the quarterback, Johnny Keith. That was his 6th completion. 13 out of 13 attempts, 96 yards.
Yeah, you know, they're here in Birmingham, and they're fighting for a reason down here. You know, if you can get control of this game and win this game here, your future's laid out nicely for you. And they're doing a good job of getting the ball to Travis Martin, the speedster. Now he caught the short pass. Look for him to try a deep shot as well.
From the gun, Keith, low snap. Little play action, then throws it over the middle, wide open. There's a tight end, Barber, and Barber with his 3rd reception of the day. Shalen Barber comes up with it, I'll tell you.
He's tapping out.
A brick wall. Yeah,
he's tapping out.
He got to come out.
Come get me. They don't have that many tight ends. They got a guy suspended.
Well, Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, the tip ball was hit, and Jamal Fletcher came up there and just laid the boom on it.
I see Jacob Wilson coming into the ball game. If that's Jacob Wilson wearing number 19, he's not supposed to be playing today, but I'll keep my mouth shut.
You're always trying to tell on somebody, Charlie.
16 yards on the catch after the last play. And from the shotgun again, the pass in the corner, and it's incomplete. Downfield, Darrell Weekly was the intended receiver, and he was covered very well down there by Antoine Hill, who has 13 career interceptions.
Yeah, you said Weekly was a receiver, but Hill did a fantastic job of getting that right arm up there and tipping the ball at the very last sentence. I like how he had a hand on Weekly and a hand in the air. That's great defense. You can't play it any better than Antoine Hill played right there.
Now Nick Wells will come to the sideline. They'll leave Jacob Wilson. There he is, number 19 and Shalen Barber. So they actually have 2 tight ends in the lineup right now on 2nd down. Rolling to the left. And a bullet is thrown, and Darrell Weekly comes up with it at the 15-yard line. Still about 5 yards shy. No, make it a yard shy of a first down. It may have it. Let's see. very close.
Yeah, it's close. You see here, this is an all-out rollout. He does a good job of going to his left, squaring up his shoulders to throw that bullet, as you called it, right on the money there. Good job of the quarterback squaring his shoulders, attacking the line of scrimmage, and getting the completion to Terrell Weekly, giving him a first down on a crucial drive.
And it is 1st and 10 at the 15. Now here's a team that normally runs the ball, but is doing the job in the air on this particular drive. And now they keep it on the ground, and they give it to the big fullback.
To the point that, both these teams want to run the ball, but when a run defense, a team that runs the ball well knows how to stop the run as well. So they see run plays all day in practice. So you get in this game here, you got to bring out some of the tricks you got, especially if you're Alabama A&M. You've been trying to run the ball, but if they lose this game, they're out of it in terms of getting back here to Birmingham for the SWAC championship.
It's going to be tough for them. It really is. 3 new coaches in the SWAC this year, one at Alabama State. Of course, the other was at Jackson State with James Bell and Prairie View, Lucille Whittington. Keith back to pass, throws on the out route, and it's a little bit beyond Martin and a little bit too short for Nick Wells. It was right between the two.
Yeah, and that's one of those throws where I'm sitting up here like salivating, Charlie. I wish I could be playing quarterback for Alabama A&M right now, because all they're getting is a man-to-man coverage, one-on-one. He's open there. Get him the ball right there. He overthrew the wide receiver. He's open there, one-on-one coverage. That's like street football, Charlie. When you go there and you say, okay, when you get to the fire hydrant, turn around and I'm going to put it on you. That's all he had to do there was just turn around and put it on him. Oh, as a quarterback, you love one-on-one matchups because that's when you get a chance for big plays.
3rd down and 8 for Alabama A&M. Keith from the gun again. Looks. Throws to the left side. Has it complete to Bush. And Bush is going to be dropped at about the 7-yard line. So to bring up a 4th down, and that'll mean Kyler will have to come on and kick another field goal.
Yeah, here's a screen play here. Fake it off to the right, come back to the left. One thing about doing screens down here this close to the end zone, the defense doesn't have too far to go back. They don't have that much field to defend. So I'm not a big fan of screens called inside the 20, but I do like the screen call because you got to slow down this Hornet defense because they're swarming all over the football, and that's how you attack an aggressive defensive line with screen plays.
This will be a 24-yard field goal attempt from Kyler. Most he's kicked this year was 2 earlier this season, and he kicked 2 against Savannah State. This will be his 4th attempt today. He's 3 for 3. It is up, 24-yarder. It is good. So Kyler makes it a 12-7 ball game with his 4th field goal of the afternoon. A 24-yarder this time. He's kicked it from 20, 42, and 27. And we'll be back. 8:03 left in the 3rd quarter.
Just for all my players out there riding, spinners.
No one told us to constantly research and develop new ways to generate cleaner electricity.
Or maintain a 99.9% reliability rate, while at the same time keeping our prices 15% below the national average.
We do it because we live here.
Because we're customers too.
It's nearly 100 years of providing safe,
reliable, affordable power.
Simply by trying every day to be the best we can be.
That's why you can count.
You can count.
You can count
on Alabama Power.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
It's 12-7, Alabama A&M over Alabama State as they try to keep their SWAC championship hopes alive for the 2nd straight year. Of course, don't forget our NBC Kids Corner. We brought a lot of kids to the game today and hooked up with Dell to make sure they're continually educated and with computers and the like. right here in Birmingham at the 62nd Magic City Classic. The kick comes down the road on a reverse. They're trying something fancy, and it's going to blow up in their face. Back at the 5-yard line, and that is all Alabama State could get out of all of that, as Thalen Valasant was the man who was trying to get it going on the reverse. Here's our Geico trivia question of the week. How many SWAC football championships has Alabama State won?
I'm going to say 7.
That's good. They won 1.
Wow.
1991. They were crowned the Black National Champions.
I knew about that 1991. Wow. Unbelievable.
And that was brought to you by Geico, the sensible alternative. Our NBC trivia question of the week. Maybe I haven't been to SWAC that long. Maybe enjoyed till the 80s.
I got you. I think Grambling and Southern was just hawking all the SWAC titles. They got to give it up. Let some of these Alabama and Mississippi schools get in there involved. But I did not know they hadn't been in the SWAC that long. That's what got me. I had assumed that they had been around the SWAC for at least 30 years, but I guess it's just the 80s. On that trivia, I'm going to start quizzing you on that. You've seen a lot more football games than me. You should know all this stuff without having to look it up.
I didn't look it up.
You did.
I came up with the questions. I didn't have to look it up.
No, now they're backed up here. I want to see if they want to cry, and they're going to obviously take a timeout to talk about it. Smart timeout, because you're at a point now where you're backed up. If you throw an interception down here, all they have to do is put a field goal on there in order to make it down by 2 scores.
Let's go down to the sideline and Rob Jones. Rob?
Hey, Charlie, these are the baby Bulldogs, and they have much flavor of the game. Their team is winning, and they're hoping to get more.
I'm sure they are.
I like that. You know, they're going to need these cheerleaders because, you know, we talked about the rivalry being heated up, and they don't have anybody to cheer for them right now. The mascots got thrown out of the game today. The Bulldog and the Hornet, they got into a little tussle there, and they don't have any of the mascots on the field, so they're going to need the baby Bulldogs to be the pep squad. I've seen it all. Mascots getting thrown out. Where did this come from, Charles?
Hey, you got to do it right. Winner of the previous 3 Magic City Classics have won the Eastern Division of the SWAC, and it's been back and forth. Alabama A&M had it last year. 2 years ago it was Alabama State, and they lost to Grambling in the championship game 38-31. Last year it was Alabama A&M, and they lost in the championship to Grambling.
That's like that old when the AFC was losing all those Super Bowls and the NFC took over. They've been rotating to see if we get the SWAC championship, but nobody's won it because the Western Division is dominated.
Back to pass, a long pass down the sideline, and it's overthrown. Intended for Chad Lucas on the near side with Henry Freeman covering. Tavares Jackson aired it out.
Man, that's one of those throws where, you know, it's incomplete and stuff like that, but you tell your buddy when you're watching film on Monday, look at my gun. Watch my arm strength here. I mean, that was a pretty long incompletion. He's impressive having the ability to wing that ball 60 yards down the field.
Hey, you can see a little bit of frustration on his face. Ranked 3rd in the conference in rushing, 6th in passing, and 5th in total offense. He himself. We also have seen Nick Fortson play a little bit this year for the Hornets of Alabama State, but today it's been all Tavares Jackson. Here he is on 3rd and long in his end zone. Steps out of there, throws, has a man wide open in the middle of the field. That's Horace. And Horace has the first down up at the 19-yard line. And he's limping again. He twisted his knee in the first half, and now he's going out once again.
You know, you always hear, you hate to see somebody limp off like that, but you always hear about why do you need a mobile quarterback? Well, this is why. There's nothing there in his initial read. Defensive lineman gets in the backfield, but having the ability to get outside the pocket and buy some time with his legs help the wide receiver get open and find a soft spot there. That's why the mobile quarterback is so in, because when things break down, they can still get you a first down.
And good enough for 14 yards. And here on the delayed draw, they give it to Robert Randolph. And Randolph trying to go left side, picks up a couple of yards. You know, you talk about this Alabama A&M defense, and you kind of amazed at the success they've had, of course, with Robert Mathis gone. They also lost people, lost some other key people on the defensive side of the ball from a year ago, but they just like picked up where they left off. I mean, you've got Dukes, Shaw, Harris, and Evans. That's a front line just among them alone, 23 sacks.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you have a good system. You got guys that are stepping up, trying to play, and they know when it's their turn to be next. You know, you got a guy like Fernandez who said, well, Mathis is gone. Somebody's got to step up and get those 20 sacks. And when you have a defensive coordinator that's been in place as long as Coach Towns is, you can always groom the new talent so you don't have to reload every year.
Now let's look at our student athlete of the week. And there he is, Clayton Harris from Alabama State. 3.33 grade point average in physical ed. .557 the time to go here in the third quarter. What has been a pretty fast played game this afternoon here in Birmingham. Here's the pitch back to the right. Randolph turns the corner, and Randolph is across the 30 to about the right at about the 30. Comes down about the 31, 32-yard line, but it's good enough for a first down. And they look at the knee of Brandon Harris once again. South Carolina, Montgomery, Alabama, has 3 catches to his credit, a touchdown this afternoon for the Hornets of Alabama State. Tall kid at 6'5", 215 pounds.
Yeah, with a bright future. I mean, just a sophomore. So at this point, you got to ask yourself, you're the trainer. Well, we know he wants to get back there in the game. He's going to try whatever he can, but his future's ahead of him, and his best football's ahead of him. So maybe it's time for him to just sit it out and let somebody else step up.
First down and 10 after the 10-yard gain, and looked like a little mix-up on the play because some people moved and some didn't.
I think the play might have been on 2, and the center snapped the ball. That's generally what happens when stuff looks like that. But I like what Alabama State's doing now. You know they do running back by committee. Well, they replaced Williams with Robert Randolph. What's the difference between Randolph and Williams? Well, about 30 pounds, you know, to get you for the starters. So running him on the edge, and when he runs, look at those big, broad shoulders that he has there. When he runs, he gets that pad level down. He's a load to bring down at 230 pounds, and he can motor a little bit. So I like that change there. Get him the ball a little bit more and try and attack this small Alabama A&M defense.
And it is second down and 9 now, facing the Alabama State Hornets. And again, they work from the shotgun, and they throw the fade again up top. And this one is caught by Chad Lucas. And he is inside the 30-yard line, all the way down to the 32, make it the 27 rather, of Alabama A&M.
Yeah, Lucas made a big play there. He's been their go-to guy, and he caught our guy sneaking in the backfield. Levernante Turner has got to come up and bat this ball down. He was beat early. Lucas did a good job of concentrating and then tucking the ball away, making sure he didn't give it back to A&M. One-on-one coverage, you got to like it. Look at this. Just sit back. You got a time. Good wall of protection up front. One-on-one. He's behind him. He's beat. He's got to be able to run away from him, but good job by the receiver of the concentration to make the reception, and a great pass by Jackson.
Lucas' second reception of the day, good for 40 yards. And here we go on the opposite side. They hit Clayton Harris, the wide receiver. Junior out of Montgomery, Alabama. And Clayton Harris, on 5 games this year, picks up his 7th reception of the year and only his 1st of the afternoon. 7 different receivers by Tavares Jackson he's thrown to today.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, wow, I'm a throwing quarterback. We like to run the ball, but he's throwing, and I like what they're doing now. You got down here throwing the ball. Don't decide to run it now. Keep on throwing it. Keep on throwing it.
Red zone area for Alabama State inside the 20 at the 18. Now they run the ball, spinning to the outside and picking up 8-9 yards. And a first down is Robert Randolph. He's running hard. He has 6 rushing touchdowns to his credit this year, averaging 6.3 yards per carry, and it's 1st and 10 at the 12.
Yeah, and he's giving the Hornets something to make a little buzz about. They're getting excited about this, and they're getting that. We talk about them being perfect almost in the red zone, 22 out of 23. So let's see if they come away with a touchdown or a field goal. The statistics show they're going to score something.
They've scored, like you said, 12 running touchdowns, 5 passing, and they've kicked 5 field goals in the red zone this year. We have a flag. Let's see if it's against Alabama State or Alabama A&M.
And that's the impressive thing is they've scored 22 out of 23, but 17 touchdowns. I mean, that's a coordinator's dream.
17 touchdowns.
Dead ball. Illegal substitution on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Probably too many men on the field. 12 men on the field. And there you see Tony Pierce. So they're again in the red zone. So it's still first down, but it's 1st and 15 now. The ball spotted back at the 17-yard line.
And that's not a bad penalty because you got more real estate to work with. You know, move it back to the 15-yard line. You're going to end up kicking a field goal anyway if you don't get the first down. So just go ahead. Not a bad penalty.
Across the middle. Touchdown, second one of the day for Brandon Horace. He made it look easy.
Tell you what, he got that knee right because he knew he had something over there and got back in the game.
He got that knee right.
He got it right in a hurry. Touchdowns will do that for you. He turned that guy around like a top there and did a good job on the coverage. Giving the Hornets, look at them, they're swarming down here in Birmingham.
So Horace with 2 touchdown receptions today. That gives him 6 on the year, and his team leads it 13-12. And now they're going to try to make it 14-12 with Johnson's point afterwards up. It's good. He is 31 of 30 this year in PATs, and we have a 2-point ball game the other way now, 14-12. Of course, we know how important this game is to both of these squads, and we talked to Anthony Jones yesterday about the importance for his squad.
We know the winner of this ball game here will have an inside track to represent the East in the SWAC championship game. We know if we lose, our chances of going to the SWAC championship game are gone. We're not going to go. So we know our backs are up against the wall. They know they have a little, quote, wiggle room to if they lose. So we should come out more motivated than they are in that regard alone, knowing that our primary goal when we started the season was to get back to the SWAC championship game and see if we can change the fate or get closer than what we were last year. If we lose, that dream is dead.
I like
there
the fact
you see Anthony Jones. Go ahead.
I like the fact he didn't sugarcoat that at all. If we lose, we're done. A lot of times coaches will get there and they'll sugarcoat it. Well, we can lose and then still come back. He was honest. We lose this, we're playing it out on the spring. And one thing football players hate is just playing out the schedule.
That was a whale of a drive for Alabama State. That was a 94-yard drive, and they culminated after 10 plays and put it in the end zone. Short kick, though. And here's Nick Wells, and he brings it back across the 30 to about the 32, about a 10-yard return for Nick Wells.
And it'll be interesting to see if the Bulldogs can answer. When Alabama State first got the lead on them, A&M found a way to answer and fight, claw back, get the lead back. Let's see if they can keep answering, because if Alabama State continues to crank out those points on offense, I don't necessarily think that A&M has an offense that can keep up with them, but let's see how they respond right now.
Well, you got to remember, Jeremiah Bonds has been kept in pretty good check this afternoon. They've done a fairly good job of passing the ball, that is Alabama A&M, but they have not found the end zone by way of touchdown, even though they've scored 4 times on Kyler's leg from the field goal perspective. 2:43 remaining third quarter, first down and 10 at the 33-yard line. And again, they keep the ball on the ground. Here's Bonds trying to get outside, turns the corner, gives him a couple juke moves. I'll tell you, he'll make you break your ankle, won't he? And he gets it up to about the 40-yard line, an 8-yard gain. And let's go down to Rob.
Hey, Charlie, we're blowing up our coverage of NBC Kids Corner, and I'm joined now by Robert Smith, Director of Public Affairs for Bright House Networks. And Robert, I'm sure you're enjoying the game, and you're also enjoying being part of the NBC Kids.
Very enjoyable. I'm glad to have NBC in town. Birmingham is home for me. The Magic City Classic is home for me, being a former Bulldog. But we're glad to have you guys here offering an opportunity for black college football to be seen coast to coast.
Talk about how you're enlightening and empowering the black community.
Well, one thing we're doing, we're working with a lot of groups. You mentioned the kids here from the Y. We've adopted the Y as some partnership efforts. We're working with NBC on making better communities, and through some collaborative efforts, we're going to have kids, youth, neighborhood organizations enlightened by the products you offer, by the programming you offer, and hopefully have you guys back in town to do other ventures with us.
This is a major program that NBC and Dell is doing. It's not just statewide, it's nationwide. This is going to reach epic proportions.
Well, you know, the kids from the Y come from what we call the black achievers. A lot of these kids face some difficult odds. Maybe a single mom, single parent home, maybe some issues that we might not face normally, but they've put an effort to be achievers. They're black achievers. The Dell computer in the home is going to be a very good tool to help us bridge that digital divide that now exists in America.
Talk about young ladies and young men being able to get computers coming from the inner city. That's really unheard of. They really can't afford that, but these guys are getting a chance through the NBC Dell collaboration.
You know, we're excited about assisting in this product. Not only did the person receive a computer, but Bright House Network and our Roadrunner high-speed service is going to give 6 months free internet access to the kid also. So we want to help to make sure that computer gets the maximum usage, okay?
All right, thanks a lot. Robert Smith of Bright House Networks. Back to you, Charlie.
Take a look at here where you can see a little bit of tip drill. Ball's there, should have been an interception, turned into a completion for the A&M Bulldogs. They were facing 1st and 15. They got the first down because of the tip drill. Good concentration by the wide receiver.
That was Nick Wells on the reception. Here's Travis Martin is in motion, and here's Bonds, and Bonds can't get away from Gresham. Gresham was there, and along with Wynn, 2 of the good linebackers, Marcus Wynn out of Mendenhall, Mississippi, and Billy Gresham, the middle linebacker, out of Montgomery, Alabama, and a loss on the play of about 4 yards. Make it 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15.
That's the mark of a good defensive unit. They got fooled on that play before when Bonds got outside with the pulling guard. This time, all 3 linebackers were on it, ready to make the tackle.
Minute 29 left, 3rd quarter. From the gun goes Keith. He's got room over there, but throws it, has it complete. Far sideline, and it's complete to Martin. Travis Martin is going to be short of a first down by about 3 yards. But he gets it across midfield into Alabama State territory at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, Martin stepping up, having a good game today. He's making catches when he has to, doing a good job. Keith getting efficient, starting to get over the 50% range for the game today. Doing a good job of starting to control the tempo of this football game. But that's what happened when you blitz on defense, one-on-one coverage to the outside. Wide receivers have to get open. Good job by Travis Martin.
Both quarterbacks have completed 11 passes today. Under pressure, throws, has it complete. Nick Wells, he's going to score. It'll be a 48-yard touchdown pass and catch by Nick Wells. Nick Wells, his longest was 52 till that one, and that is his 4th touchdown reception of the season.
When the Bulldogs respond to the Hornets scoring there. Look at this. Good job. The blitz is coming. This is the blitzing linebacker, Dylan. Clean shot. Keith stands tall in the pocket, gets rid of the ball, releases it to Wells. I just said it to play before. When you play blitzing teams, you got one-on-one coverage. Anytime you get open in one-on-one coverage, you got a chance of scoring a touchdown. Good job by the Bulldogs with the sense of urgency, realizing they were getting blitzed with one-on-one coverage, not just settling for a first down, but taking it to the house with a touchdown.
That's a 5-play, 67-yard drive. They used 2:08 off the clock. 48 yards, though. Watch it. And look at the pressure the quarterback. I mean, he just managed to get that off.
Yeah, and that's knowing hot. Earlier, he got sacked. I said he didn't pick up his hot read. This time, he saw where the pressure was coming for, still got rid of the football, and Wells did a good job of just outrunning him. And I like the celebration right here, bro. Give it to me. Give it to me. Tap, tap. Yeah, I like that. That's a good feeling. I mean, one of the best feelings you can have in life. You know, golfers say it's hitting the perfect golf shot. For a wide receiver scoring on a pass play of 40 yards or more, celebrating, you feel like all 60,000 folks here in the stadium are watching just you. You can't beat it. That's why football is such a great game, and touchdowns, they're so sweet, and that's why you play the game.
And you talk about the crowd that attended, 63,117, second highest ever in the history of 62 years of this Magic City Classic, and we have the pleasure and honor of being here.
Oh yeah, and it's growing and growing and growing, and they're bringing out the star power, and everybody's loving it, and this is starting to become one of the best black college events, period, any sport at all. You know, big grooves in the house, Holyfield, Cecil, everybody's here, and Birmingham is a great host city.
They're going for the 2-point conversion. Now, again, they're up by 4, 18-14. This would give them a 6-point advantage rather than a 5-point advantage. So they're going to go for the 2-pointer right now. And they keep the ball. They give it to our man Bonds, and Bonds gets it in from the 2-point conversion. And that makes it a 20-14 ball game.
Yeah, that was a big play there. You saw the 2-point conversion here. Bonds just turning on the speed. He does a good job of getting to the outside, and it's a foot race with a great cut block. They got away with a little hole right there on this side of the screen, and Bonds is feeling it, trying to get into the groove there. Good job by the A&M Bulldogs. You know, and you always talk about fucking how popular you are around here, Charlie, and you just want to do this and that. Well, you know, guess what? We finally caught you, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, I heard you love turkey legs. Why don't you come over and have one?
Hold it for me. I'll be right there as soon as this game. We have 15 minutes and 39 seconds to go. Since I can't eat it now, I'll eat it then.
Yeah, you know, you always like to say that, Jay, you eat this and you eat that, and everybody knows. For the record, Charlie Neal is feeding the tapeworm in his stomach. He eats more than anybody pound for pound his side than I know. So I know you're going to find that turkey leg, Charlie.
You must have been looking at the wrong Charlie Neal.
I'm not
because I don't eat that much. But I'll save some room for a turkey leg.
You test food all over the place. Your favorite response when you find out where we're going, you see the schedule, you start hooking up the restaurant.
Yeah, but see, I only eat one meal a day, but I make sure I save it for that restaurant. We had a great meal last night, didn't we?
Awesome.
Oh, well, Jay, you know, you like to eat too.
Me?
Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
Here's my grill right here.
That's her grill.
That's her grill. Where's the food? You told me it was a grill for some food. Hey, you don't tease me like that. I'm 6'4",
Here's my grill right here.
Now. Hey, when I want to eat, I want to eat. Don't talk about grill and don't have any smoked chicken on there or something.
Well, from their own 20, Alabama State trailing now by 6. They have the ball first down and 10. They scored the last time down. They scored on a 17-yard pass to Harris. Here's Keldrick Williams. Keldrick Williams out across the 30 for first down at the 31, an 11-yard gain on the play.
Team is starting to settle it down at Alabama State since they got down there on the last drive throwing the ball. Now the running game's starting to open up. They're settling down. We said whatever team could calm down first could take advantage of it. Now we're starting to see the true talent that both these teams have.
You know, we talk about them starting to pump it up here in the second half. If you remember at halftime, the score was very low. It was 9-7 at halftime. 5 years ago, Alabama State trailed 28-0 and rallied for 28 points in 13 minutes to win it in overtime. So it's, you know, you never know what's going to happen with the fireworks start in this game. Here's Keldrick Williams. There he goes into A&M territory, and he stopped at the 35-yard line. Keldrick Williams picking it up.
Good patience here. I mean, they got the trap play going, and he exploded through the hole. Misdirection. I like this. Look at this. You got the wham block there, a body on the body. That's what you want. And then turn on the jets. Once he saw that tackle come and smash that guy, he turned on the jets straight up the field. He set it up with the good patience, taking the jab step to the left, then sprinting up the field.
That's the end of the third quarter. Keldrick Williams with 93 yards on 9 carries after that 34-yard run.
Next Saturday at 2, NBC Sports has got another serving of homecoming hitting. Trayman Douglas is a playmaker. This is his last homecoming at Grambling. And Texas Southern wants to make it one to forget. Next Saturday at 2, TSU and Grambling kick off a 2 games on 2 days weekend on NBC Sports. We're not just playing games, we're making history.
Ready to take control of your credit card debt?
Credit Guard of America cut my monthly payments in half.
Credit Guard of America is a nonprofit service that's helped thousands of people to move on with their lives.
Credit Guard of America saved me over $13,000 in interest fees alone.
Call now to reduce your monthly payments. Cut the interest rates on your credit cards by up to half. And get your unsecured debt paid off years earlier.
Don't you owe it to yourself to work with a real nonprofit service? Call now to find out how to receive a free credit report.
Call 800-730-8940.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a rear tailgate that acts like a second set of hands.
I see a vehicle that fits our lives.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Now, very well-qualified lessees can lease Chrysler Pacifica for $339 a month with 0 down and $339 due at signing.
20-14 as we start the fourth quarter here in Birmingham, Alabama. 2 years ago, the defensive backs of Alabama State, considered the weak links of the team, now may have the most experienced secondary in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. But right now, they're doing a pretty good job on the offensive side of the ball, running it. Here you are, the #1 rushing team in the conference, and it looks like it. As we start the fourth quarter, at the 35-yard line of Alabama A&M, Alabama State with the ball, 1st and 10, working from the shotgun. Trailing by 6. Give the ball again, but this time not much doing as Gerald Harris is there to stop Keldrick Williams. Keldrick Williams came into the game averaging 5.2 yards per carry. His longest run was 35 yards, and he had a 34-yarder just a moment ago in the last play of the 3rd quarter, and he's up to 93 yards on the team that leads the conference in rushing. And it's amazing because they run by committee, as you said.
Yeah, and for him, anytime you get one of those backs near 100, you really like it. But, you know, they rush for 200 yards a game, and now they're starting to get in their groove, and they'll probably eclipse the 20-yard mark again.
And here is a pass complete to Cliff Cotton, the tight end. And Cliff Cotton gives them a 1st down at the 21, down to Rob.
Hey, Charlie, I'm here with Alabama State President Dr. Joe Lee. And Mr. President, you're enjoying the game?
I'm enjoying this game. It's a great game, great day. A lot of people here.
When you took over this job, you became the 11th president of the school, and your philosophy is students first. Is that still your motto?
That's still my philosophy, and we're working on that. The university was designed for the students. And I said to the faculty and the staff when we first got there, we don't have to define our customers. We know who they are. Some people don't like to refer to students as customers, but they have a choice. They can go anywhere they want to go. We've got to be the better choice.
You have a hands-on practicum program there at Alabama State, preparing kids for the future, getting a lot of scholarships. Is that something you're most proud of?
Very much so, and it's hands-on to the extent that we count each student as an individual, knowing that they've got individual needs, and we have to meet those needs. It's not hands-on to the extent that I try to micromanage what happens, but that we understand as a team that we need to meet the needs of the students.
But right now, you guys are in this ball game. You're down by 6. You think they can pull it out?
I think so. I mean, I don't know why they want to do me like this and give me all these nerves and everything, but I feel confident that we're going to come through. They are a great group of young men, and they play hard for the university for themselves.
All right, thanks a lot, Mr. President. Back to you, Charlie.
All right, Dr. Joe Lee, who was as he said, the 11th president, got the job back in August of 2001, and prior to that, he was the president of Tougaloo College down in Mississippi. So they've done a pretty good job with their program at Alabama State. And don't forget, coming up after our game, we'll take you to Greensboro, North Carolina for the Aggies homecoming as they host Euro Squad, Jay, Howard University. Last time I remember being there for A&T's homecoming, you were quarterbacking the Howard University team. And now look at this, a little Statue of Liberty, and look at Mr. Williams all the way down to the 10-yard line and another 1st down.
Wow, Charlie, you're telling your age how long you've been around football. The Statue of Liberty play, is that what you called it? It's just a draw play in the middle, a little trap draw there.
Yeah, Statue of Liberty.
Reminded you of the old Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, well, that was when you were playing.
I haven't heard that term in forever. Wow, Charlie, Statue of Liberty.
Nobody knew where it was going.
That's you're going to not call wide receiver, or wide receiver call me in.
Flanker. Flanker. Split in. Here's Keldrick Williams, and he's brought down immediately by Fernandez Shaw, who got a hold of him. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. It'll be 2nd down. They're calling it 2nd and goal right at the 10-yard line. There's Fernandez Shaw, who's had a pretty good day on the defensive side of the football for the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M today.
Yeah, he's a good kid. You know, you ask him about, how'd you come from Seattle down here to Alabama? He said, hey, I had to get away from the West Coast. And he was mature enough in high school to realize that he had to go away.
To get away from that rain.
And he said and he's not going back anytime soon. He wants to go to grad school, so that's what it's all about, a student athlete.
Rolling to the outside. Horace can't get the body around. Not a good pass by the quarterback.
Yeah, this is one of the new routes you're starting to see. It's called a fade stop route. So what you're going to get is the wide receiver is going to run downfield half-heartedly, and then you throw the ball on his back shoulder. But when you throw it with that much velocity, he doesn't have time to turn and adjust to that ball. He threw a bullet. Take something off of it, and it's an underthrown ball on purpose that the wide receiver turns to the back shoulder to make the catch on. And you see the wide receiver there telling him, Horace was telling him, Brandon Horace said, hey, man, you give me time to adjust to the ball.
And that would have been his 3rd touchdown reception of the year had he made the catch. 3rd down and goal from the 10. Jackson stands in there. He's under pressure. He will not get it down. He is sacked. Big sack coming in to drop him for Alabama State was Martavius Gary out of Montgomery, Alabama. Martavius Gary, they got him listed as Baldwin. Correction, I'm sorry, that's Baldwin for Alabama. A&M, rather.
Yeah, and that's just the blitz.
Johnny Baldwin.
The thing about A&M, they blitz you, and they blitz you, and they blitz you, and they blitz you, and they keep on blitzing you. You saw 2 linebackers get back there with Baldwin as well as Garrett. They're blitzing everybody, and as a quarterback, that's so confusing to read because you don't know where the blitz is coming from.
40-yard field goal attempt by Anthony Johnson. His longest this year was 32. This one is good. A 40-yard field goal. So they keep it close. Again, Anthony Johnson, the freshman from Bay Minette, Mississippi, comes through with a 40-yard field goal, his longest of the season, and he pulls his team to within 3. Fourth quarter, 12:08. A game that's featured 5 field goals so far. 4 by Alabama A&M, 1 by Alabama State. 20-17. There's been 2 touchdown passes thrown, both by Alabama State in this contest. As you look at one of the deep men back to receive the punt from Alabama A&M, and that is Reginald Johnson, senior out of Birmingham, Alabama. So 20-17 is our score. Alabama State just scored on a 40-yard field goal, and they'll kick it off. Johnson will let it go. It bounces into the end zone, and it'll be brought out to the 20 on a touchback. So Alabama A&M gets the ball. This will be only their 4th possession of the second half.
You know, that's what happened. We got a team that's getting a little bit of momentum and starting to just move up and down the football field. So neither one of the teams, not like the other team is touching 8 or 9 times. They've just had good drive and a lot of scoring starting to take place in the second half. You
see Anthony Jones there. His second year as the head coach at Alabama A&M. He spent a couple of years at Morehouse, 4 years in fact, and he was a 2-time SIAC coach of the year. So he has some experience. In fact, he was Doug Williams' roommate on that Super Bowl squad that in 1987 that beat the Denver Broncos. He was a roommate in that particular Super Bowl game of Doug Williams. Wasn't happy when Doug beat him earlier this year, though.
We're both competitors. It's all in the name of competition. Nobody took it personally.
And we talked about the crowd here. This is the announced attendance, 63,117, which is the second largest crowd in Magic City Classic history. And we want to say congratulations to all the fans, because everybody knows, you know, for so many years, even though they've played this over the years time and time again, this adds significant importance other than the rivalry and the bragging rights, because the winner probably represents the East in the SWAC championship on December 13th right here in the same stadium here in Birmingham, Alabama. So, you know, it's not just bragging rights now. It added some more meaning this year.
Yeah, and that all started when A&M joined the SWAC. You know, they've been in the SWAC for 6 years now, Charlie.
Right.
And so now they've been a part of it. Before they were playing every year just to talk trash to your cousin. You know, it's one of those cousin games. If your cousin and auntie went to different schools, you talk trash over the weekend. But now they're talking trash, and they're also talking trash with a purpose. They want to come back here in Birmingham. One of these teams wants to declare Birmingham their second home.
Yes, indeed. of the quarterback. That's Timmy Parham. He did not even give Johnny Keith a chance to get rid of the ball and hand it off to anybody.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job. And Parham, he's playing a great football game. You can tell when certain people are in the groove. And it's at one of these points where Parham feels that nobody on that A&M line can block him. And you love it when your D tackles feel that way because that pumps up the whole defense.
So only the second punt of the second half for Alabama A&M. And it takes a pretty good bounce in favor of Alabama State and goes out right at midfield. And so that's where they will get the ball. First down and 10, trailing 20-17 with 10:09 to go in regulation. 20-17 is our score here.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a rear tailgate that acts like a second set of hands.
I see a vehicle that fits our lives.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Now, very well qualified lessees can lease Chrysler Pacifica for $339 a month with 0 down and $339 due at signing.
For the short, for the tall,
for the big, for the small,
for the day trippers,
for the sunbathers,
for the surfers,
for the divers,
for the ball players, for the fans,
for those who speak up, for those who stand out,
for the singers,
for the original, for the responsible,
for the kissers, for the committed,
for those who love you,
for those who love you not,
for those who love you a little,
for those who love you a lot, for the hot days, for the starry nights,
for the endless days of summer,
for all of us,
for everyone.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Customer satisfaction is at an all-time high. I don't think we've ever had numbers this high. I mean, this guy has really worked his tail off.
his tail.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
10:09, the time remaining here. Charlie Neal, Jay Walker, and Rob Jones in Birmingham and Legion Field. Let's look at our drive of the game brought to you by Chrysler.
You saw Alabama State get into it. They got the deep completion with Chad Davis there. The passing game all set it up, and then they followed up with the touchdown to Brandon Horace to give him pay dirt for the first touchdown of the game.
And there you see Horace with the touchdown brought to you by Chrysler. Chrysler Pacifica. It goes well beyond the SUV. First down and 10. Alabama State right at midfield stripe, trailing by 3 points. One lone setback behind him, and that is Williams, and he has the ball, cuts it inside before he's dropped down by Baldwin, number 57 on the stop defensively.
Yeah, you know, you're starting to hear more and more of the linebackers making tackles, so that means you're starting to get by the initial front four of Alabama A&M for the first time in the game. They're starting with great field position, probably the best field position they've had thus far, picking up 5 yards on a run play there on first down. Makes it a whole lot easier to continue the drive. Got stuck there, but now they're starting to get the running game involved. Look for them to go with a play action, then take a deep throw downfield.
On second down and 5. Williams again, but the Alabama State defense rose to the occasion. That time Lieutenant Dukes was there, the sophomore out of Birmingham, who number 3 in the conference in sacks, but he also does a pretty good job in tackling people behind the line of scrimmage for losses.
Yeah, I mean, one of those speed guys, you know, Lieutenant Dukes, 6'3", 209 pounds, sophomore from Birmingham, so he's going to be excited to play in front of his home crowd, but also just doing a good job of reading his keys. Running play going away from him, slide down the line of scrimmage and make the tackle.
Third down and 6, we'll call it. Back to pass. Thrown incomplete, and we're going to get interference. Levernante Turner may be drawing the flag, and he's not too happy with the call.
And I don't know why. I mean, that was obvious there. He got turned around from the very line on the beginning of the play from the line of scrimmage. He was lucky it was an underthrown ball because that could have very easily been a touchdown with a better pass.
Brandon Horace was the intended receiver who's been in and out of the lineup here today with that knee. They call it holding on the defense.
You know, as you take a look at it here, you've got the blitz coming, and they go downfield. They've got the speed rush coming here. Good job of throwing the ball, holding up tight. That's why you got to have poise as a quarterback, because you're going to get hit, and if he would have got sacked, they would have never gotten the penalty to keep the drive alive. That's why you have to have poise. And you see Levernote here. He's beat right there with that hold. Oh, yeah, that's an easy one to call. Look at my man. Good form. Good form on the follow-through with the flag. I like that.
First down and 10, and the man who was putting pressure on the quarterback was Lindell Edwards, a linebacker. Carter is the man in motion. Here's the pitch to Kendrick Williams, trying to turn the corner, and good tackle, open field tackle by Wesley Bynum to prevent him from turning the corner.
Yeah, and Bynum's a good football player. He's got speed as a linebacker. He was a strong safety to start off the season, but now they moved him to linebacker just because of his speed, and they had to find a way to get him on the field. So he's been making good plays and made a good adjustment. Only difference between a strong safety and a linebacker, that little neck roll you see right there. You got to have that neck roll in the back right there. Linebackers wear neck rolls. DBs, they try and limit you quick.
You saw that Williams had over 100 yards in rushing yards today. This pass intended for Harris. Let's look at the student athlete for Alabama A&M. Mr. Penn, Harold Penn. He has a 3.37 grade point average in physics. These guys with physics degrees scare me.
Yeah, as I say, yeah, I got nothing but respect. I'm going to give it up for him having that degree in physics there. We were stunned there.
At the 35, it's third down. Quarterback sandwiched, nowhere to go. Credit number 90 with this. Now they're going to throw a flag, and Molasta Hill. A little late action there going on down there. And also Kelvin Lockhart, number 95, was there. But let's see what the penalty flag is all about, and if it'll give Alabama State new life. They're going to call a dead ball foul. They're saying personal foul, but it's against Alabama State. All right, well, there won't be any new life there.
Yeah, you see, and this is the coverage sack. What they did is they've got 4 guys. You can't get sacked here. You've got 6 people blocking in the backfield, and they still get to your quarterback with a 4-man rushing. He gets on him, and that's why I think the lineman saw him give him that little mash there. And look at this, that little mash right there, and the guy saw that, like, hey, you don't do that. And they came there and did a little getting in your face, and they caught the quarterback with his arms extended.
Yeah. That's what happened. And now he's pleading his case. That is Tavares Jackson out of Montgomery, Alabama. Transferred from Arkansas. So they'll bring up 4th down, but instead of punting it across midfield, they're going to punt it from their side of the 50. That is Alabama State.
And with 7:54 to go, special teams can be big. Now's the time where you want to tighten up your special teams. You can't afford to have any big returns. You need good coverage, and you got to make firm, fundamental tackles.
Second punt of the second half for Brothwell. Aiming it for the corner, and it goes out of bounds inside the 15, and they'll mark it right at about the 13-yard line. So that's where Alabama A&M will go to work. First down and 10. They lead it 20-17. Let's look at our long distance play of the game.
Brought to you by Eimer, and what it was Alabama A&M held firm in the pocket there, got the ball off to Nick Wells, beat him with the one-on-one coverage for our Eimer long distance play of the game. A little celebration there too. That's college football.
Yeah, Nick Wells gets that 48-yarder on the pass from Keith. As you look at Anthony Jones.
At this point in the game, if Alabama A&M can score a touchdown, then that'll almost wrap it up. So this is a very important drive. If they want to hurry up and wrap this game up, now's the time to do it. Alabama State's got to try and force a turnover to get the offense back on the field.
Quarterback has the ball, throws, and is separated from Nick Wells with a great hit. And that was put on there, you see, by number 37, Vervon Butler.
And that's another one of those times where you talk about the quarterback just has to do a better job of getting the ball to the wide receiver. Don't hang him out there. He made a great play on the rollout run earlier in the game. Now this time, make a better throw. Wells was open for a while, so get him the ball where he doesn't get hit like that. But like I say, give it up to the DB. Good defense. If a wide receiver's going to catch a pass on you, you got to make them pay. And if you hit them hard enough, they'll give it up, as you saw in that last play.
It was interesting. The only time that Alabama A&M didn't, on the defensive side of the ball, didn't come up with a sack this year was against Southern University. Here's the quarterback throws again on the near side. This time it's complete to Wells, and Butler couldn't do anything about it this time, and they get it up across the 20 for a first down to the 23-yard line.
I like the play calling there. They're getting blitzes. We know that Alabama State has been blitzing this team all day long. So what they're doing is moving the pocket from the middle of the field right over the ball to the right hash, to the left hash, getting the quarterback out the pocket. That way it's tough to blitz. If you think a quarterback's going to be in the middle of the field, he's not there. He's rolling around. One-on-one coverage, they can break a big play. Good game plan by Coach Jones, who's also the offensive coordinator. So he knows a thing or two about rollouts.
First down and 10, and they keep it on the ground. They're running straight ahead. Here's Bonds. Jeremiah Bonds only 28 yards before that run on 13 carries, so they've held him pretty well in check because he's had some big games this year. He had 183 yards and 2 touchdowns against Tennessee State. He had 117 even in a loss to Grambling. He had 197 against Mississippi Valley. So I mean, he's had some big games, but he's been kept in check as of late. And of course, the hit point didn't help the situation. This looks like a busted play, but a quarterback, Keith, had to swallow the ball and keep it.
Yeah, just doing a good job of just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage there. But talking about Bonds, a good running back keeps running all the time. And the moment you think you've got him, that's when they're most dangerous.
That's right.
You've got him,
because he might just run an 80-yarder before this was over. We still have a lot of time. 6:09 to go in a 20-17 ball game. Third down for A&M. Keith rolling outside, throws, coming back for the ball, and making a great reception is Darrell Weekly. He came back. You're talking about a receiver coming back to the ball. That's where you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, I like that, Charlie. You know the game so well. Good job here. Look at Weekly. You've got a good ISO coverage here. One-on-one. He's going down the field, and then he turns around. The ball's in the air right now, and he's still running back for it the whole time. Always kept his body moving, turned around, and came back, got the ball. He could have sat there and saw it was a low throw, but he kept running back, and that's what enabled him to make that catch.
Good for 10 yards and also good for a first down for the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. They keep it on the ground this time, but nowhere to go, as the running back was Mario Lane, had Jeremiah Bonds in his sights and wouldn't let him go. Mario Lane out of Montgomery, Alabama. He's a freshman. Had a shoulder injury against Jackson State, was back in the lineup and doing a pretty good job.
I tell you, these freshmen get bigger and bigger. 6'6", 265 pounds, and he's a freshman. I mean, look at the build on that guy there. That's what you call prototype size. He's got NFL body right now. He's just a freshman. Hey, if he can keep it up, he can make it happen.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Keith wants to go to the air. Rolls left. Has it complete across the 40 to about the 41-yard line to Martin.
The rollout plays are giving the Alabama State Hornet defense trouble right now. They haven't figured it out. They're blitzing the guy up the middle, and he's not there, the quarterback, because they've moved the pocket. They've got to come up with an answer. And anytime consecutive times, same route, haven't changed up a thing, and Alabama State didn't make an adjustment. Quarterbacks rolling out, wide receivers running a 10 or 12-yard curl route, throwing them the ball. It's an easy throw for the quarterback to make, and they have not adjusted to it. Unbelievable.
17 yards on that catch by Nick Wells. So Wells with 6 catches, 106 yards to his credit today, and a touchdown on 1st and 10. Here's a delay play, a draw play to Bonds. Bonds trying to get around the corner, and black jerseys are there to greet him, make sure he doesn't turn the corner. And it was led by Butler along with Rowe.
Good job of swarming through the football. Now, he almost got suckered into going too far there, Richard Rowe that is, because they've been doing the rollout away from him. And this time they did a sprint draw, they call it. Sprint draw. Quarterback acts like he's going to roll out to the left, gives the ball to the running back who looks for a cutback lane right. Rowe did a good job of staying at home. He almost slipped, but he stayed there and he held his contain.
Keith, 16 of 26, 252 yards and a touchdown today. Here's a little delayed handoff again to the running back. Bonds, who's down across the 45, inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. Seeing some new faces come into the lineup for, well, that's Erland Sanders actually coming back into the lineup for Alabama State.
And I bet you he probably said, go in there and stop this rollout pass. We know it's coming.
Well, this looks like a nickel type of defense that he's brought in, an extra defensive back with 2:23 to go. But again, this clock has been ticking over 5 minutes. Alabama A&M has held the ball in this drive, 20-17 to score, and Alabama State needs the ball back.
What you call a championship drive.
Well, they're going to have to call a timeout now. That is, Alabama A&M uses one of its timeouts as the play clock was ticking down. So rather than taking the penalty, they call a TO, and they'll talk things over on the sideline. Let's go down to Rob Jones.
Hey, Charlie, I'm here with LaShawn Williams. She's a recipient of the NBC Dell Incorporated computer. She's also joined by Melanie Norman on our far right and Terry Kelly, Executive Director of the YMCA. And this is all about LaShawn Williams. LaShawn, you've overcome some hardships. You're doing well in the classroom. Just talk about how surprised you were when you found out you won this computer.
Well, I don't know how surprised I am now, but I'm very excited.
You're 16 years old, you're only a sophomore, and you told me you want to go to Miles College?
Yes.
And what do you want to major in when you get there?
I want to major in lawyer.
You want to be a lawyer. She's only a sophomore. She has her mind set on what she wants to do. Historically black universities are doing a big thing, and she's interested in going to one. Big help from the Northeast YMCA.
Pretty smile, too.
Yes, indeed.
Got a pretty smile there. And wants to stay here in Alabama. Can't blame her. Miles
surprised. I wouldn't be more surprised if I woke up tomorrow morning and my head was sewn to the carpet. Here we go. Keith looking out of bounds. Out of bounds. It was caught by Martin, but he was out of bounds. Nice effort.
Yeah, he's been their go-to guy coming up with some catches. And we knew the rollout was coming. They did a good job of keeping the quarterback in the pocket. Ball hit off his helmet there, a little bit underthrown, but that was a lot closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, but his foot was on the line. Watch his right foot.
This is how you stop the rollout. That guy right there stops the rollout. He makes Keith pull up and stay in the pocket instead of rolling and attacking the edge. Ball gets tipped, and take a look. It's out of bounds. And whoa, that was close.
That right foot came out of bounds. So we get Kyler to punt it away this time. And it was touched. And it goes out of bounds inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. So they used up a lot of time on the clock. Only 1:49 left for Alabama State to get something going. We'll be back. A 1:49, the time remaining here in Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, and Alabama State with the ball. First down and 10 at their own 8-yard line, but more importantly, they're down 3 points, and they need to at least get in a field goal position. where they can possibly tie this game and send it in overtime. There's been 3 ties throughout this series. 1st and 10 at their own 8. Alabama State trailing by 3. A little swing pass out the flat. Keldrick Williams. And Williams gets the first down or close to it. He's very close to a first down, maybe a yard shy at about the 16-yard line.
The keys to victory: special teams. They got the field goal. They did decent. 100 yards. They need to get that up, and they got to score. 17 points, not enough. Keys to victory by Air Post Star.
At the 25-yard line, they get it complete for a first down, and it's Chad Lucas on the receiving end.
Good job of getting them in and out the huddle, get them on the line of scrimmage. In college football, every time you get a first down, the clock stops, and then when they set it, the clock starts to tick.
From the gun again, Jackson working, moving them down the field, has it complete for another first down at the 35-yard line. This is picture book offense. Reggie Glover on the receiving end. This is your 2-minute offense at its best with 1:09 on the clock. Remember, they got the ball at the 8-yard line down by 3, and each team with a timeout remaining. Jackson again wants to go to the air. Under a little pressure, throws, has it complete in front of his own bench to Harris. And Harris comes up with the big reception, his 5th of the day. He has 2 touchdowns to his credit. They'll still be short of a first down by about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, but now
2nd down and 3, rather.
Now they can huddle up because he got out of bounds. That was a key thing there. Good job of getting out of bounds, not getting tackled inbound. Clock stops, but more importantly, what they can do is just take their time, catch their breath, and then get ready to move on. Keep prowling down the field.
52 seconds to go. The quarterback scrambles. And he is brought back, and the clock continues to run. That may not have been a wise choice on his part.
Yeah, that was tough there. Now I think you got to use a timeout, but they're not going to use a timeout. I mean, look at the clock, just tick, tick, tick. This is one of those times you can't afford to ground the ball because you don't want to make it a 4th down for no reason at all.
It's 3rd down and 2. 24 seconds on the clock. Incomplete. 4th down. 18 seconds left. That pass incomplete to Keldrick Williams.
And they needed that incomplete pass, something to stop the clock because they were getting a little winded there. They got to get into the huddle. The players now have to calm down, call your best play. Make sure you get the first down. You got to get the first down. Don't worry about the clock. Worry about this first down. I don't see the players huddling. That's what got me a little concerned. And they don't have that much time over there. He's got to hustle up and get in there and get the play in before the 25-second clock comes to fact.
14 seconds on the play clock. 17 seconds is the time remaining. For the 2nd straight year, Alabama A&M trying to make it happen. First down to the 40 of Alabama and the 36. Now they have to call a timeout, and they do so right away with 10 seconds to go. So they get the first down.
No, they're going to kill the clock. They're going to try and hold on that timeout in case they get tackled and bound. Smart job by them. Good job of realizing that the clock doesn't start until they set the ball in college football. First down is like a built-in timeout for you sometimes. 21 yards on that 4th and 2 play for Alabama State. Remember, they've had a 40-yard field goal by Johnson, and that was his longest of the year earlier. So in order for that to happen, they'd have to get the ball down to about the 27. And what you saw here, they attacked the 3-man rush that you saw, just did a sprint draw up the middle, and the quarterback did a good job of getting upfield, not wasting any movement.
I said the 27, about the 17 they need to get in order to give him a chance for a field goal of that nature. That may be a fumble, and that may be it. That might be it.
That is.
That's a fumble.
Wow.
And Alabama A&M will come out victorious. As Alabama State comes up with it, the clock is down to zeros, and the final is 20-17 from Birmingham, and Anthony Jones, I'm not sure he even knows what's happening yet.
He wants to make sure that it's really official. He didn't know if they were going to call the fumble, if there was time left on the clock. You know, he's a disciplinarian there. He's going to make sure he's not going to count his eggs before they hatch.
So Alabama A&M stays alive as the two coaches meet at midfield. Alabama A&M will increase its record in the SWAC to 3-2, while Alabama State falls to 2-2. And of course, Jackson State is still very much in that equation with a 2-1 record coming into today's action. Let's go down to the sideline and Rob Jones.
Coach Jones, what an exciting finish. Another great Magic City Classic.
You said it all. I mean, I'd like to thank God for this. And my kids played exceptionally well. They played hard. Their kids played hard. It was a great, great football game. Somebody had to win. We're glad it was us. They got a great football team.
Your defense held strong. You like to run the ball, but in the second half, you got that big touchdown to Nick Wells through the air.
We did what we had to do. Like I said, I'm very, very proud of my guys. We tell them all the time, big players make big plays. Nick and Johnny, they hooked up. The line protected them well enough. They made a great play. He stood in there, stirred the rush down the face, threw a great pass, got a great catch and run.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Back to you, Charlie.
297 yards total offense for Alabama A&M, but more importantly, when this final score was put up, they had 3 more points, and that's the most important thing, while Alabama State managed 355 yards. And we'll be back to wrap things up from Birmingham in a moment.
How do you reach the African-American family? Advertise on NBC Black College Sports. We deliver the audience. NBC is the #1 network for Black college sports, with more live football and basketball games than any other network. Millions of fans will view your ad in the national broadcast of conference games and classics. Put your ad dollars where it counts. Catch the games. Catch the audience with NBC Sports. Call today, 1-888-496-NBCN.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a rear tailgate that acts like a second set of hands.
I see a vehicle that fits our lives.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV. Now very well qualified lessees can lease Chrysler Pacifica for $339 a month with 0 down and $339 due at signing.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
For the second straight year, Alabama A&M comes out victorious over Alabama State here in the Magic City Classic, 20-17. That's the final score. Coming up next right here on NBC, Sports Lifestyles. Then at 8 o'clock, we'll be down in Greensboro, North Carolina. Invite you to watch Howard take on the Aggies of A&T for North Carolina A&T's homecoming. For Jay Walker and Rob Jones, Charlie Neal saying so long from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, where Alabama A&M has defeated Alabama State 20-17.
This has been an NBC Sports presentation.